Oh, what do you do with a blasphemous brew? And what do you do with a blasphemous brew? And what do you do with a blasphemous brew? You chug it good and fast. Get an extra shot of heresy, get an extra shot of heresy, get an extra shot of heresy, chug that good and fast. Yeah! Welcome to Blasphemy and Brews.
Well, so thank you everyone for attending our show. I know it's not the normal time slot, so probably not gonna get as many people because everyone's streaming at fucking midnight on a Friday. But so what is the topic for tonight, Steve?
Oh, I didn't realize I was playing DJ. Topic for tonight is Christian nationalism.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Now, what do you think of when you hear Christian nationalism? What comes into your brain if someone brings up the term Christian nationalism?
Specifically, God Bless the USA. The song. Or no, I'm proud to be an American.
Proud to be an American because at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the man who died gave that right to me.
Dad, I will pay bugs to shoot you.
Okay, fair enough. I will stop. I see how it is.
I'm sorry. That song just brings up so many bad memories.
Yeah. I mean, I get that. I mean, see, I think of a lot of different things when someone says Christian nationalism. Zero of them are good.
No. Like, proud to be an American is just like a really broad strokes of like, that is the first thing that pops in my mind. But yes, there's a lot more than just that.
Yeah, I think of the first thing I think of is like Christians getting like the 10 commandments put up like in courthouses and government buildings,
or
and then getting
schools.
mad when the satanic temple's like, yeah, so we can have fucking Baphomet there, right?
Or when I moved down to the high school we went to together, I had not taken a biology course as of yet. And the curriculum down there was a little different than the curriculum where I came from. Very nice, Ape. Very nice. So I came into biology halfway through the year, right about when we were starting evolution, and the teacher literally gave a disclaimer of like, hey, if you or your parents have religious, I forgot the exact word to use, but religious objections to evolution, let me know. We'll figure something out. I'm teaching this as it's the curriculum, but we'll figure something out. It's like, okay, but why? Why? Like, you can have a religious objection to whether or not, you think it fits with your faith, but this is a science class. Call me crazy.
Yeah, we should be learning
religion
science.
Doesn't have anything to do with science. You want theology to dictate whether someone will or will not learn something about natural science.
I hate, look.
Kevin, I think you know what teacher I was talking about, too.
Yeah, hold on 1 second. I need to reboot my brain. Kevin, you don't have to come in. You're more than welcome to, though. You join the faggotry. Join the queerness. It's okay. Yeah, look, do you see, look at that man's wrist. Titan, I am 3 possums in Brett Keene's trench coat. I am no human.
We were keeping that on the down low.
Shit. Oh,
that was supposed to be a season 2 reveal.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think I know the teacher you're talking about. I think that was the same teacher who fucking emailed my mom about how I was like literally Hitler and like fucked his mom or something.
Oh,
And
that teacher, I only was in a class of his for that one semester. I wasn't impressed.
yeah, yeah. I
He
wound
seemed like
up.
a decent enough person as a human being, but as a teacher, he was very,
Yeah, well,
to quote the great Immortan Joe, mediocre.
yeah. I called him out on it in front of the class. I was like, "Hey, look, you got a fucking issue with me and how I act and how I talk and what I do, and you don't bring it up with me. What kind of pussy shit's that?" And he just like typed my name into the computer or whatever to like pull up my
God
grade, and he's
damn it,
like,
Cat! Don't make me
"What?"
almost spit take in my mic. These things aren't cheap.
And he was just like, You have a D plus," and I'm like, "Fuck you! You're fat and smelly." And he just sat there and didn't say anything and continued staring at the screen dejectedly. And I'm like, "Okay, ain't got nothing to say. Awesome." And I just went and sat down, and he just sat there I bent his dog over the fucking science lab table and fucked the dog in front of him. Like he was very dejected. I don't fuck dogs, people.
Oh,
It just that was the look he had on his face, like I violated his canine. The point is, yes, I am not a fan of that particular teacher in our school.
that school didn't have a lot of good teachers, and
No.
you and I had good experiences with different teachers in different departments. Like the English department,
Yeah.
I had good experiences with 2 of them out of the 4.
Yep.
And the art department, I had a good experience with one of them when I came, and then they became insufferable.
Was it the cigarette smoky lady?
No, it was the one that got married to the vice principal our senior year.
Oh. Yeah.
I think the power went to her head of becoming Mrs. Vice Principal.
Yeah. No, I hated that school. Well, speaking of biology class and Christian nationalism in school, I went to biology, my sophomore year too.
Yep, same
And
school, I assume.
yes, the one we both went to. But it's
Bugs, to answer your question, 2012.
yes.
We weren't expecting to be alive after about 7 months after graduation, so
Yeah.
hence why
Well,
we have no clue what the hell we're doing.
yeah. The Mayan calendar was ending, and then if the Mayans weren't right, then Ragnarok was going to happen in like a year and a half, anyways. So, am I wrong?
Well, technically, the 5th world was ending, and the 6th world was beginning. So either
Oh.
A, we were talking an apocalyptic event, or B, Shadowrun was right the entire time.
Oh my God, Titan, you graduated.
Grandpa, what was it like?
Well, I'm trying to think. My dad was 15 when you graduated high school. Um, let's see, what else was I thinking? But yeah, I went into that classroom, and the first test, it was right on the syllabus right away. It was going to be about evolution. And I was like, hey, I went to crazy, weird Christian school. I didn't learn any of this. Huh. Well, can I do a different test and then you teach me that? Well, you're already supposed to know it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
But I went to crazy, weird Christian school. Well, if your parents don't want you to know it. And I was like, so I just have to fail. And she's like, uh-huh. And I was like, whew.
What kind of shitty teacher are you?
What do you mean?
Obviously, the child wants to learn this. Well, if the parents didn't want him to know it that badly, they would have kept him in a private Christian school.
Well, that's the thing. Is like, this was still... I was like just de-Christianing like the start of that then. And I don't know why the fuck I thought evolution was... Probably because no one fucking taught it to me. I thought evolution was bullshit because I literally never got taught it.
Yeah, honestly, until high school, like middle school science classes are very broad stroke science. They don't really go into any sort of study in depth. And I was in public school for some of elementary, kind of the same deal. So high school was really my first exposure to evolution aside from broad stroke stuff, and then me being interested in paleontology as a kid. But it was just like, wait a second. So what is the problem with this? Because I stopped believing in a lot of young Earth creationist stuff, late elementary school. So it wasn't a huge crisis of faith for me. It was just guys, nobody's saying your great grandpa's a monkey. What they're saying is rewind the clock about 500,000 generations, and that chimp and you probably had a distant relation that another 500,000 generations back may have had a shared 500,000 times great grandpa.
Yeah,
and I actually was recently watching a video about this. Why I don't know why we're going on evolution, but yes, rewind the clock far enough, and everyone has a gilf in common.
Yeah.
But Dre the Explainer on YouTube.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, no, I watched a video of his, and it's like evolution in real time, like over the course of a decade or two for us. Granted, it's hundreds, if not thousands of generations for the species in question.
Yeah.
But like real time, like a couple of a married pair of biologists went down to the Galapagos Islands with the intent of disproving evolution and figured, hey, Darwin got this whole idea from finches in the Galapagos. We're going to disprove it with finches in the Galapagos. And they literally, over the course of 30 years, oh, fuck. We're literally seeing a new species evolve before our eyes, almost go to extinction due to, events happening on the island, and then rebound because they had to do a little bit of incest, but the species recovered.
Yeah. And,
oops, we proved it. Fuck.
Let's not even talk about ring species. That's the whole thing, though. Like, certain places. Well, we're from Paul Ryan land. Sorry.
I said
his name.
I saw that walking pile of fecal matter once in a restaurant in town.
Yeah.
I felt dirty. I wanted to take my check. I wanted to never return.
Yeah. Well, did you see there was a Trump rally in town? And
well, are we talking back in 2016?
Yeah. And this was the same rally that got famous for some old guy touching a teenage girl's butt. Oh yeah, no,
like we made national news that day because a pro-Trump supporter groped an underage protester. She called, like, "Hey, who the fuck groped me?" And then Trump supporters pepper sprayed her.
I only know I can't the girl was my sister's friend, so I just the
and I was going to
news
say,
made it
like, there
a bit different.
I should say there was an alleged groping.
Well,
I don't know if anybody was arrested or identified.
No.
Long story short, Trump protester who was a minor said and started shouting. There was shouting going on both sides anyways. But was shouting at the Trump supporter crowd, "Hey, one of you fuckers groped me. Who the fuck was that?"
Yeah.
Understandably,
they made it
understandably
groping,
cross because of that. And then one of the Trump supporters pepper sprayed her in the face in self-defense.
The whole thing was dumb, but there was one thing that day that it really upsets me that the news didn't mention.
He didn't show up.
Oh, he did.
No, he was a no-show. I shit you not. Trump was a no-show that day. He canceled his plans to show up.
Because I know he's been in Wisconsin more than once, in southern Wisconsin.
Oh, he absolutely has, but that day he canceled the Janesville appearance.
All right, because there was one where he showed up and mentioned, "Look, I know this is Wisconsin. Paul Ryan's from here. I like Paul Ryan. He's a good Christian conservative man, right? I was thinking of having him as my vice president."
Yeah.
And everyone, supporters and protesters, booed him, and he was just like, I'm sorry, we should thought, okay, fine, I'm not gonna run you. It's Paul Ryan, so he's president. Yeah.
We're a swing state, so whichever candidate, like if you say insert Wisconsin political official here will be my running mate, it makes it much more likely you're going to get that state.
Unless it's Paul Ryan.
Unless it's Paul Ryan.
Literally, he could have been like, "I'm going to run with Tammy Baldwin." And people are like, "We hate Tammy Baldwin, but sure, why not? We'll vote for you." Paul Ryan, it's like, "This motherfucker, this was the actual worst trade deal in all of history, Trump." No, Paul Ryan fucked this entire state to hell. And then Scott Walker comes in and just digs the hole deeper. Because you want to know what Paul Ryan did? Speaking of Christian nationalism, he was trying to make it that young earth creationism was taught in public schools. That was one of his things as Speaker of the House.
And
Pepper Grove.
And that's like honestly a big key mark, I would say, of hardcore Christian nationalism, if we want to call it that. Because I will say this: there's nothing wrong with taking pride in the country you live in. There's nothing wrong with a normal amount of pride or the nationalism to the extent of like, I want to make my country better.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. Now, where it gets to be a problem is where you think your country is and always has and always in the future will be 100% in the right. It can do nothing wrong.
Yeah.
That's the big problem. And then the follow-up is that, obviously whatever we're doing is the best option. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Because God.
And then you combine that with, and I always say this, I have no problem with anybody who has faith or practices a religion, provided that, one, your faith does not hinge on thinking less of others, and two, you do not hurt anyone by following or practicing your beliefs. Like, I know more than a few Christians who, they're Christians, and it's like, I think Jesus had a lot of good teachings. I want to be a good person. And the gays? Well, whoever they want to fuck, they can fuck. As long as everyone's, a consenting adult, I don't care. And other religions? Hey, I mean, in my opinion, if God's omniscient, omnipresent, and, I'm forgetting the other one for some reason because it's midnight.
Omnipotent, omnipresent, and
omniscient. Thank
omniscient. Yeah.
Thank you. But it's like, if that's, if you want to call him Allah, if you want to call him Yahweh, if you want to call him everything under the sun that is
Jehovah.
All I said was, my goodness, honey, that fish is so good, even Jehovah would love it. Yeah. It's like, I was gonna say, like, I'm not overly familiar with Islam, but correct me if I'm wrong. Islam is like, as long as they're people of the book, which means that they are
Jews, Christians,
follow
Muslims.
a monotheistic religion. It's like, they just call Allah. Yeah, they call Allah something else. It's a language barrier. Sure, the rituals might be different, but they're all right. I mean, they're eating pork. Yep. That's a personal choice. I don't get it, but yeah, they're all right.
I should get Khalil to talk to you one day about his version of Islam. He is a hardline atheist.
Okay.
Who used to make atheist content.
Okay.
Who converted to Islam.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That is someone I'd be very interested in speaking with, because right now,
for philosophical and logical reasons.
That's someone I'd be very interested in speaking with, because one of my players in my D&D group on Discord, born and raised in Malaysia, cool dude, really awesome. And born and raised in a Muslim household, and like, I'm not sure how orthodox of a household he was raised in regards to the religion, but shit. I'm open about my bisexuality. We have a former player who he played with as well, who was she had a few letters in the alphabet mafia. She was promoted to like 3 or 4 letters. But like, honestly, the only thing that, like, he's, I hope I'm not being offensive when I say this, stereotypically Muslim about is, visual depictions of the prophets.
Yeah.
Which it's like, okay, yeah, no, I wasn't planning on pulling out a picture of Moses.
It's the worst one is Muhammad.
Right. Well,
peace be upon his name. Inshallah, whatever. Fucking whatever. I
only found out that he was like in the new visual representation of the prophets. No, France and President Macron came up.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna have to read all these comments when we're done. I'm not keeping track of it.
Well, no, not this one. Not this one. I like. This is my favorite.
No, they're not Monster Energy cans
or Spice.
To make a long story short, the person, this place was built by relatives of my wife, and those are old-timey cans. Like, let's see.
You got Pabst? You got the Pull Tab Pabst?
Oh, I mean, of course. There's plenty of Schmidt, Foster's Lager.
Oh yeah, you got Schlitz, you got Foster's, you got
Private Stock.
You got any fucking Zloty Bajant?
Maybe on the other wall.
Oh,
Guinness, Tall Boys.
Oh, hell
probably from the 70s.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I don't drink beer, but it's like, yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's a fucking Wisconsin thing there, bud, huh?
Oh yeah. And bud, like, we decorated our windows back in college, with the Captain and the UV Blue and all those other 750 bottles. And, when the RAs came around, like, hey, what are those? It's like, hey, there's no alcohol in here, bud. No alcohol. You can check. It's empty. It's decoration.
I love how you do a different stereotypical Wisconsin accent than I do. Because we're from different parts of the state. I don't know why. That just tickles me inside.
Well, you were born and raised in southern. I was born and raised in central Wisconsin. You know.
Yeah.
I'm a little closer to the Canadian border.
Yeah, well, it's fucking weird because we kind of sound like fucking Kentucky and fucking Ottawa got their fucking wires crossed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's fucking weird, Because
Math Pig. I tried messaging you on Discord per the mutual friends request. Apparently, you ain't accepting new friends. The hell's up with that, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go fix your pockets.
Better get at her. You want to talk to me on Discord? You got to initiate the conversation there, bud.
Like your fault. Okay, but so going back to Paul Ryan's insane Christian nationalism.
Oh, we were having a fun, nonsensical conversation there, bud. Way to be a downer.
Yeah, I know. That's what I do. But since this shit is rampant in Wisconsin, the Bible Belt stops and then just picks up. Like, Wisconsin's just like, nah, guys, I'm picking up the bootstraps on the Bible
folks,
Belt.
Add that to the bingo board. Kat bringing up how the Bible Belt resumes once you get north of Madison.
What's the most insane thing? Because, like, it stops south of Chicago. And then, like, you drive 5 minutes north of Madison, and, like, you hear fucking, and there's fucking Jesus billboards and shit. And it's like, what the fuck just happened? 13 minutes ago, I was getting fucking harassed in a fucking parking complex by a fucking Buddhist hippie monk who's fucking high out of his mind on shrooms, trying to give me a copy of the fucking satanic Bible. I am all kinds of confused. And then I drove 5 minutes outside of town, and people are fucking their sisters and trying to fucking shove Bibles down my throat. What the hell happened? Oh, there is a link.
Yeah, I'm trying to click it. It's getting away.
For Big Steve Cott. Ginger Nation. I am the taco munching, pig slapping Ginger, and in here to chew ass and kick bubblegum.
Oh my.
Yeah, take a spoonful of sugar with the ass.
Yeah, I'll take care of this and then I'll resume.
Yeah. But I'll talk about Paul Ryan. Because I have like 45. All right, I have like 45 bones to pick with Paul Ryan, but the biggest one, which is completely irrelevant to all this, is fuck you. I have never talked to a single human who's voted for him. Why does he keep getting elected?
Gerrymandering, my boy, gerrymandering.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Are your constituents very unhappy with your results? Why don't we redraw the election map?
Yeah. Well, it's fucking nuts because it's like, as a state, when the state votes, no one matters outside of Milwaukee. And then the entire rest of the state gets fucked because Milwaukee's like, oh yeah, we use the word bubbler, so we are very clearly out of touch with the entire rest of the planet. It's a water fountain, you knob. It's a drinking fountain. It's not a fucking bubbler. No one has ever called it a bubbler. You made that up. The story you people use to, like, show how that's a real thing isn't even real. I'm sorry, but it's like, when the state votes for anything, everyone's fucked because the state always votes in the interests of the county of Milwaukee, which fucks the entirety of the fucking rural state, the predominantly rural state. And it's just like, yeah, it sure would be great if everyone used electric cars, wouldn't it? How are people making $7.25 an hour ever going to be able to buy a $180,000 electric car?
Wisconsin is so, California is able to do what it does because it's safe to say over half the state lives in the Bay Area between LA, San Francisco, and then the other not quite those size but surrounding communities. Well over half the state, probably closer to 2/3 in the main urbanized areas.
Between like San Diego and Oakland is, I think, where the majority of the humans live.
Now, Wisconsin, we got a population at like 4.5, 5 million.
Oh, we got more than that.
Let me pull it up.
I think Milwaukee is, the 26th biggest city.
I think we're in that's their 5.89.
Yeah. See,
we had a positive
bit more
change, very slow positive change. Okay, so it's been sticking around.
But it's like, how many of those
2022
people
is 5,900,003.
And how many of those people are in Milwaukee? 5.2 million.
Hold up.
4.8 million.
Milwaukee proper or greater Milwaukee area?
Well, it's all Milwaukee, so let's say greater Milwaukee area.
Okay, because according to this, just a hair under 600,000 are in Milwaukee proper.
Yeah, but the whole area is Milwaukee. Milwaukee County. We're bringing in shit like fucking West Allis and fucking Kenosha and shit like that.
Milwaukee.
Well, Kenosha's a bit far out. Yeah.
Yeah, Milwaukee metropolitan area. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Over 1.5 million.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and I was going to say, like Madison proper,
300,000 people.
Madison proper is sitting at about 250. You include all the suburbs, though, you can bump that up to almost 500,000.
Yeah, almost.
So that's almost half the state across 2 counties. You throw in Janesville and Beloit, that's another 120,000 or so.
Not even.
Janesville's about 65. Beloit is about 40.
I guess.
I'm just saying. So you throw it. So if you include any city,
and then you got Appleton.
Yeah. Any city that has a population of at least 50,000, and then the surrounding communities, like, that's probably about 2/3 of the state population in urbanized areas. And then the other third lives in cornfields or woods, effectively.
Yeah.
Like when I tell people where I grew up in Letterkenny, effectively, they're like, "What are you talking about?" It's like, listen, the population may be bigger in the show, but it was Letterkenny.
Yeah.
Because, growing up in rural Wisconsin, the options were you can be a jock. So instead of hockey, it was wrestling in that town. You can be a Bible nut, which that's the household I was growing up in.
Yeah.
You can be, they call them skids in Letterkenny, but it was pretty much the outcast that will likely, best case scenario, weed. No harm, no foul. Worst case scenario, meth. Not quite so no harm, no foul. Or where I was gravitating towards the weird ones that, artsy, intellectual type that nobody likes.
Yes. Not me. No one likes me, but it's not because I'm artsy and intellectual and in rural Wisconsin. I'm just a
Pat,
dick.
you're incredibly intelligent, and you are artsy in a different way than I am. You are, I'm not sure
I
how
will kick you off this fucking show, sir. Do not insult me thusly.
Hey, Kat, You've forgotten more about music theory than I've even bothered to learn in passing. You were a talented musician. I don't know how good you'd be now. Don't know how out of practice you are, but you kicked ass back in high school.
Yeah, I did, unfortunately.
I know. How dare you?
Yeah, well, you didn't have to be in the band for show choir because you were drafted.
That's because I was smart and never actually joined band.
Yeah. Although, to be fair, our senior year, I think I had 3 band classes, sci-fi lit.
Oh, senior year. Gotcha.
Yeah, strength and conditioning, the workout class.
All right. You were the fool in our friend group that actually signed up for a gym class senior year.
Yeah, and I loved it.
Hey, more power to you. If they hadn't cut it, I totally would have signed up for the lifeguard course senior year.
Yeah. Oh, I love strength and conditioning. It's like I get to work out as much as I want for like the entire period. Well, I don't have to learn.
My senior year, because at the time I really wanted to go to pursue visual arts in some way. I think that my big thing was I want to be a concept artist for either a video game studio or a movie studio. So it's like, okay, well, I'm going to take a shit ton of art classes, like 5 each semester, because I didn't have the credits to graduate, but I had every other requirement met. So I just needed credits. Yeah. I could have ended it like after the first semester senior year if I wanted. So I took 5 art classes each semester, while also juggling a part-time job, while also doing college applications, while also juggling a girlfriend, while also juggling an extra.
I'm sorry.
In my defense.
Oh, she's a nice girl. The teeth. Like they weren't even bad teeth. She just had Gary Busey teeth, man.
Who the fuck is? You could have said Gary Steve Buscemi. That's someone people know.
Yeah, but Steve Buscemi doesn't have huge teeth.
Okay. I'll be honest, I don't remember the teeth.
That's all I can remember. I can remember you two sitting at one of the tall lunch tables while we were sitting at like the long one, like, you know, right when you walked into the fucking smaller lunchroom. We always all sat at that fucking table. I can very vividly, I don't know, that image of her taking a bite out of whatever the fuck she was eating is permanently ingrained in my mind. It's been over a decade, Steve. I'm sorry.
Look, so yeah, essentially what
She's
happened
very nice,
what ultimately happened is I realized I really enjoy visual art, but you know, doing that plus, you know, if I didn't give myself such a massive fucking workload, maybe it would have been more fun, more enjoyable, but it sucked all the fun out of it. Plus, that art teacher who I really liked,
got bad.
That senior year kind of showed her true colors. So, yeah, it just, there were a couple art classes I did enjoy, but it made me realize I don't want to do this as a career. It's going to go from something I love to something I loathe.
Yes. Yeah. The point is, school keeps on getting affected because fucking Paul Ryan wants to do some fucking bullshit shit, not just in Wisconsin, all across the nation. And, like, he keeps on trying to sneak these little things in there. Like, he signed, if I'm remembering correctly, it was him. Oh, a few people did, to sign for a thing for, like, a moment in the beginning of the day for, you know, prayer or silent reflection.
Well, did you hear? I think it was one of the Virginias What happened in high school?
What happened in West Virginia this time?
Okay.
We all know it's West Virginia.
I could be wrong. Hindsight being 2020, I should have saved details about all this. Well, Bugs, we don't pretend that this isn't a, Peggy 18 stream.
Ooh. Weird flex to bring in the European version of the video game rating system, but hey.
Anywho. So, a bunch of, the high schoolers in this school were told, hey, everyone go to the auditorium, mandatory assembly, all that fun stuff. Okay,
yeah.
So, turns out the school brought in an evangelical preacher to save their soul. Yeah, like about half the students, and they were pretty much like, this wasn't just a bringing someone in to preach. Like, he wanted them to give their lives to God. They were being encouraged by faculty to follow along. I think about half the students walked out in protest.
Yeah.
Yep. And of course, the district is, trying to like, oh, hey, we really mishandled that. No, we wouldn't mandate anyone to do this. And
I mean, what they should have done. Also, that is correct. It is south of Virginia, weirdly enough. It's also north of Virginia.
Yeah, the Virginia split's kind of weird.
It's like, what's that? The Netherlands?
Oh, Sweden, Norway, and the Netherlands?
No, the Netherlands borders. That's Finland, you fucking troglodyte. Finland is the one. Oh my.
Listen, I know there's 3, and once upon a time it was 1, but now it's 3, and the borders are all weird.
The Netherlands fucking they are both south and north of France. I mean, well, I guess most things are, but they're simultaneously both of them without having to go around the globe. That's not the point of this whole topic. Yeah, that's according to Titan. It was supposed to be a sign-up only gathering, but there was a miscommunication.
Of course.
Did someone say pegging?
Always.
Yes, we are big fans of a pegging here. Virginia splits like a banana split without the banana. Or the ugh.
And more gunshots.
Yeah, I mean, well,
what are you ordering in your banana split that has as many gunshots as a Virginia split?
Well, I'm trying to think, like, where we lived, there was gunshots occasionally, but it's like, it wasn't like crime gunshots, it was people fucking shooting possums, so.
Oh, no, I'm making a Civil War joke.
Oh. What is it? God, what's the fucking Union version of Dixie? Why can I not remember the words?
Way down south in the land of traitors, rattlesnakes and alligators
run away, come away, run away, come away. Yeah.
One moment.
You can pull it up. I'll share it.
You keep on talking.
Yeah. No, I'll keep on talking.
I'm getting something ready now.
I'll be ranting about Paul Ryan some more. Did I mention he wanted to teach young Earth? He wanted young Earth creationism to be taught in like schools, like public schools, like federally. And
I feel like it's come up tonight a few times.
Yeah, I just want everyone to know that used to be the Speaker of the House.
We didn't vote for him.
No, we didn't. Because and that's how we got on the topic of gerrymandering. Because he goes and gets votes from rich people in very specific areas because everything's gerrymandered to fuck. So he gets all the important big votes with big voting power, big land, rich conservatives.
Hey, Kat, let me know when you're ready.
Oh, yeah. And we are adding to stream.
All right. Whenever you need to remember, just remember this.
SpongeBob, turn off your fucking racist music, you goddamn traitor.
Oh, way down south in the land of traitors, rattlesnakes and alligators.
Right away. Come away. Men are chattel.
Tell me your
Union boys will win the battle right away. Come away. Right away. Come away.
Now that is an anthem worth blaring and screaming freedom.
Which, yes, I am a very big fan of, each Dixie boy must understand that he must mind his Uncle Sam. Which, that is the kind of nationalism I can get behind. Hey,
yes.
Quit being a racist or we'll slap the fucking shit out of you. We will destroy everything you've ever owned.
Oh, the timing of you saying that is perfect. Look at Bug's last comment.
I mean, it's not wrong. Maybe about the nose part. My nose is pretty big. Gerrymander. I went to high school with him.
We went to high school with Paul Ryan's kid.
Well, one of them, but yeah.
Yeah. I suppose there is that caveat. He's a good Christian Catholic.
Yeah, who's got like 4 or 5 fucking kids, which that's another thing that confuses me because it's like, okay, look, it's Wisconsin. There's a huge rift between Protestants and Catholics in Wisconsin. Like, they're not fans of each other, man.
Oh, yeah, no. Like, I was not Catholic growing up, and my parents switched denominations plenty of times. Never Catholic, though. Catholics were just... No. Bugs, you're not missing out. Long story short, he was a politician that was running on a platform of, bring God back. Bring God back in the government. More prayer in schools. Why should you be afraid to say the Pledge of Allegiance as it was altered in the 50s?
Amongst other things, my fucking Christian school that I went to sent us on multiple field trips to go like talk to him at the Capitol. He took us on a tour on the Capitol building. And then okay, Antjer, if you just look up way down south in the land of traitors, it'll pop up. It's great. Would recommend. Yeah. But yeah, we used to go there and like
it's called the Union Dixie.
The Union Dixie, there we go. It's awesome. That is old school shit posting, and I love it.
Mm-hmm. You can find a version that's more traditional,
Yep.
Marching cadence. I personally love I think it's technically called a trap remix or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, just essentially the mic drop boomy bass. I want to get a hydraulic kind of ghetto cruiser and just drive around at a GOP rally like, hey, yeah, what's up, you traitors?
I'm really, really, really getting in on the Shifty Marmoset podcast here. bring God back and hold him accountable for his crimes against humanity. See,
Hey,
if
hey,
Paul
Kat, remember
Ryan
that
ran
video I
on that,
sent you? Remember that video I sent you?
yes, you did.
Let's put
Yes,
a pin
you-
in that for now.
Yeah, we'll put a pin
I'm thinking you and I can
to a future episode.
yes. Let's just say to everyone, check out Legal and a video he recently did. We're taking a little inspiration.
Yeah, but like going back to this whole fucking thing, like,
Hey, Bugs. Trap remix.
this goes straight up, like, because whatever, Paul Ryan's not doing that whatever fucking anymore. I don't care.
No, he stepped out of politics.
Yeah,
Because
you want to know? You want to know who else Wisconsin made? Reince Priebus.
Oh,
Trump's advisor guy.
oh.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to talk
Reince
about. I'm drawing a
Priebus.
blank on his name.
Scott
Oh,
Walker.
McCarthy.
Well, yeah.
Good old McCarthy trials.
Yeah. Wisconsin is.
Pat, have you ever had any relations with the Communist Party? Have you ever had any dealings
I
with
fucked
the
them.
Communist
Every
Party?
one of them.
All right.
I had sexual relations with every communist in every communist party. Everywhere.
Kat, do you hate your country?
Of course.
You're going off script. You're supposed to deny it. This is political theater, Kat. We're supposed to be running up the Red Scare.
No. I has no. Apparently, I'm a black mammy now, but that's the voice I chose, so we're gonna go with it. Oh, lordy, I didn't have no relations with no communists, sir. I didn't do nothing. I love my country, man. So.
Oh, no.
What?
Please, no.
You know McCarthy was into that.
I mean, I do, and I'm just taking these off so I don't have to hear that again. But no, never again.
Fine, I won't.
Never again, please.
Oh man, I committed like 18 hate crimes here. Yeah, I think you can be charged for death threats against the divine. Yeah, I think it's illegal to kill him.
Not just the men, but the women and children too? Like animals.
Every last one of them. Yes, it is. But
Duh, comrade Bugs.
Wisconsin is the most fucking insane bipolar state. Paul Ryan, Reince Priebus, McCarthy. You want to know who else we have? I'm sorry. The first major U.S. city to ever elect a mayor of the Socialist Party. Milwaukee elected a mayor from the Socialist Party. What's her name? What's our senator? I said her name earlier.
Tammy Baldwin?
Yeah, she's lesbian. She's the first openly gay senator.
Well, Tammy Baldwin is, I don't know where she and Elizabeth Warren stand issue to issue, but she's like the Wisconsin version of Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah, and also the first openly gay U.S. senator. Like, we didn't give a fuck that she was gay, but also put Paul Ryan, the queer-hating, put God before country motherfucker.
And you want to know the
what
crazy
are we
thing is?
doing?
I'm not sure who we're worse off with, Paul Ryan or his replacement.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. We don't need to go that dark. We don't. I don't even live there, and that makes me sad.
Yeah. I keep getting mail because I'm in the district, and it's like, no.
Yeah.
I mean, I lived in Illinois at the time, so I couldn't have kept you from getting in.
Yeah.
But no.
It's just, there's so much of this shit that we get. A lot of it just happens to happen where we're from.
Yeah, sorry, to circle back on topic for a brief 2-minute interlude.
Yeah.
Hey folks, welcome to Blasphemy and Brews, where we sometimes talk about the episode topic of the day.
Mm-hmm.
But you can always count on us going on random rants. So we're quite consistent. Anywho, hyper-conservative Christian nationalism. If they weren't so dead set on forcing their religious beliefs to not only like throwing it in the face of other people and saying they're wrong for not following their exact religious beliefs, but insisting that it must be the basis of law at the federal, state, county, and municipal level. It's just like, no, like that breaks so many amendments. And like, oh, well, we're a country founded on Christian beliefs. Where the fuck did you get that? It's in the Pledge of Allegiance. It wasn't. It wasn't until the height of the Red Scare. We added one nation under God to differentiate us from the USSR, because in the USSR, it was an atheist state.
And
in fact, like there's a podcast about this. I really should subscribe to it. I think he wrote a book about it as well, like doing a bunch of research about the history of the Pledge of Allegiance. Like there were plenty of national Christian organizations like in the 30s and 40s, like, do not put God in the Pledge of Allegiance because we love our country, but we want church and state need to be kept separate. Do not make us put God anywhere near anything about the nation.
Yeah, God's not a politician. Politicians should not be the people. Like, I'm not racist. I don't fucking give a fuck. It's all fucking stupid. It's all bullshit. I don't care if you believe something you're wrong. Shut up. Okay.
Hey, Kat. Hey, Kat, you're buzzing a little bit, and you're sounding a little Stephen Hawking-y. I thought it was me, but...
How about now?
Better.
All right. Not allowed to charge my phone, apparently. It's like, fuck you, you're wrong, whatever, I don't care. I don't care what you fucking believe, so long as you're not fucking shoving it down people's throats or whatever.
Right.
But, like, there are a lot of Christians that, unfortunately, not the majority.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
And then the other problem with a lot of folks that believe that their conservative Christian beliefs need to be the basis of all government, of all teachings and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just flat out wrong. My mother, college educated, licensed teacher. Thankfully, she does not have a steady teaching job. I don't even think she substitute teaches anymore. Most of her teaching jobs were at private Christian schools at the elementary level. To this day, she is convinced we entered World War II and fought the Nazis because they were communists. The Nazis were communists, don't you know?
Cue Curb Appeal theme song. What? Like, no, I would love to have her explain to my grandmother that's why we went to war with Germany.
And you want to know the really funny thing is, despite these very obvious anti-communist sentiments, guess who her favorite TV actress is from the golden age of television?
Oh, God. Is it Betty White?
No, Lucille Ball, but
Oh, all right, yeah.
the person
yeah,
who was literally
yeah.
charged with being a communist.
Yes.
And
yeah.
blacklisted by Hollywood.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
yeah.
I think she did have a connection to the American Communist Party in the 30s.
Yeah, and Lucille Ball funded like half of Star Trek being made.
Oh, the woman was great and hilarious.
Yeah. She was awesome.
Yeah.
And the fact that she was just like, honey, I'm an independently rich woman. I don't need your shit. Lucille Ball. Okay, she doesn't talk like it. She talks more like this. But yeah, you get the point.
I could not even try and do Lucille accent. And I'm not going to try and sound like Ricky, because that would be incredibly racist on my part. He did have a very stereotypical, like, Cuban-American accent.
I don't even know if... I think they just took, like, 4 different... I think they just took, like, Italian, Cuban, Mexican, and, like, Puerto Rican, and just threw it all in a blender, and were like, do that. That's my theory, at least. Yeah, but it's fucking stupid that we have these people who... Well, another one of the things, Christian nationalism. I might have brought this up last week, but the fucking, he's some fucking Catholic bishop or some bullshit.
Oh, the guy in the La Crosse area?
Yeah. Yeah, he's been saying all kinds of shit. It's like, the government's wrong, you need to trust the Catholic Church. Christian nationalism.
Yeah.
Anytime...
that's actually an
Pastor
excellent way.
Greg
That's
Locke.
an excellent way to describe it. Is essentially, and I'll say it again. There's nothing wrong with having faith or having a religious belief, but okay. The more you know.
So she kind of sounded like me. Like she's been drinking every day for the past 48 years.
But yeah, so Christian nationalism, like a lot of those folks, they're the kind of people who will look at Iran or what happened in Afghanistan and is still happening in Afghanistan, be like, oh, those poor people, those poor people,
and then want the same exact thing.
That. Exactly.
It's nuts.
I would say it's not really hard to argue what's been going on in Ottawa for the past 3 weeks has a very strong Christian nationalism
I was
foundation.
Going to bring that up.
And
also,
then guess who's endorsed it now? Guess who is like, hey, the Freedom Convoy. Those folks are all right.
Christian
nationalism of Iran.
Oh,
the president of Iran has endorsed the Freedom Convoy. At that point, you got to wonder, are we the baddies? Nah.
Well, here's my thing. That, like the Freedom Trucker Rally, what do you think would have happened if they did that across the border in like the American Midwest?
Same thing.
No, Steve. How many guns are there? Just unregulated, unchecked firearms throughout that region.
Oh,
and
see,
how many?
When you said they, I wasn't sure if you meant law enforcement response or overall public reaction. That was a vague question that you were asking.
Well, yeah. That's the thing, though. My first thought is, imagine one trucker where we used to live, right? One trucker sitting in a place where there's houses, honking their horn incessantly. That man would be dead in 45 minutes. Let's be realistic. There would be a drunk hillbilly, or some fucking trailer trash motherfucker who works third shift.
Here's the thing. On paper, you're right, but Ottawa was the destination because one, it's a very urbanized area, and urbanized areas are statistically much more liberally inclined.
Yeah.
And those with liberal leanings generally do not have nearly as many firearms as those with conservative leanings. Also, in urbanized areas,
Yeah, that's because liberals are pussies. Leftists are better. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, I was going to say, also, generally in urbanized areas, like, obviously Canada doesn't really have even remotely similar gun distribution as the United States. But I would say the average person, like, blue collar, white collar, whatever collar you wear, in urban areas will have less firearms than the equivalent in a more rural area.
Yeah. But
so, if it was a whole Midwest thing, the truckers probably, if they wouldn't go to Washington, D.C., they probably would congregate somewhere like Chicago, somewhere that's a huge hub.
Okay, you just picked the place that probably has the worst gun crime
in the United States. But
yeah,
assuming that they'd be essentially shutting down the downtown area of Chicago, the gangs wouldn't really care.
I think they would. If
downtown Chicago?
If they're getting in their way of distributing things and they're drawing police attention to their area, yeah, I think they would.
Downtown Chicago.
How far down are we talking?
I'm talking like the State
Peoria?
Street area, the Milwaukee Avenue, like I'm talking Lake Michigan downtown.
Oh.
I'm talking like what they're doing in Ottawa, not like the businessy areas, not the residential ones.
I don't know.
Lifeblood.
Yeah, okay.
The main artery. Yeah.
Okay, I guess.
I'm under the impression that's what's been going on in Ottawa. Like, there are residential
areas.
Like, you can get housing there.
Some 21-year-old chick sued the truckers.
Oh, yeah, no. Like, it's the legal proceedings. I think it's a civil complaint at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like over $300 million between the warranted noise complaints, because, hey, folks, I'm not sure if you know this, truck horns are fucking loud. Especially if they're going off like practically 24 hours a day, going on over 2 weeks.
Yeah.
They have been, like, residents have been harassed almost constantly.
Mm-hmm.
And now businesses are getting in on it too about lost revenue.
Yeah.
Like residents are straight up saying, we do not feel safe leaving our homes.
Yeah.
Because we do, and we're heckled and, shouted at and threatened.
This is Christian nationalism. Okay.
Yeah.
Because this is the exact thing where you'll have, people, like this doing this kind of thing because God said, I don't need to follow your rules and get your stupid vaccine. I'm free to travel. I am a sovereign citizen. I did not sign up to be a citizen of this country. I'm a citizen of heaven. Right? And you get people like this.
Yeah.
And basically, they're not really doing a whole fucking lot of anything about it. Then,
well, and I was going to say, it's an extreme example, and as of now, it's a work of fiction. But if you want to see what Christian conservative nationalism wants, and I say this as someone who has not watched the show because I cannot, and when I say that, it is really triggering for me to see stuff with a lot of sexual violence. Handmaid's Tale. Unironically, that is what they want. They want to, let's just, they would want to pretend the whole handmaiden thing wouldn't be a thing, but it's like, they want.
They would.
Yeah, they at first they would try and not make that the focus for a little bit, but yes, it's like they want a few cisgender straight men to make the decisions, like good old Christian men's council. They want their women subservient and obedient, and making children and making dinner and doing what they're told, and then they want all the non-council members to be subservient and do what they're told and help provide for the council, and because the council knows what's best, don't you know?
Yeah.
The council is the one in touch with the Lord, and am I taking some assumptions? Yes. At the same time, this is literally
You're not, though.
but I was going to say they literally want to make a government that is based off of their
Bible.
church governing body. And I'm describing their church governing body.
Yeah.
In general, you go to any fundamentalist church governing body, that's what it is. My parents literally have left a couple of churches because either a female
they had a
minister,
woman as a pastor.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
Yep.
It's like, and I asked my dad, seriously, what was your problem? Well, she shouldn't be in a leadership position in the church. Okay, but why? It's not right. But why? She supports the gays. Okay, show me in the Bible where it's not cool with that. This one in the Old Testament. Oh, right next to this verse about, if someone rapes my sister, as long as they give you 50 pieces of silver, which that's kind of vague. Let's just say 50 quarters. You then are obligated to let them marry her and acknowledge him as your son-in-law, right?
Okay, to be fair, the amount is more specific in the Hebrew. For whatever reason in the English, they're just like, we don't care about these fucking Jewish denominations of money. We'll just call them pieces. And there's actually a whole, if you go back in your Bible, if it's a King James, if it's an NIV, an NKJV.
Oh, my parents were NIV.
All right, yeah. If you go in the back, there'll actually be a table for different verses that shows actually what the denominations are.
I'm pretty sure there was a conversion chart from cubits to feet. Yeah.
Well, it'll even have for when it says pieces. If you go into specific passages, or when you look into pieces and it's dumb. I don't know. Well, I do know why they do that, because the King James version wanted it to be poetic, and the NIV is an adaptation of the KJV.
Yeah.
In case you didn't know. Also, weirdly enough, the NIV adapted by a lesbian woman.
Oh shit! Cool.
Yeah. Or I'm sorry, she might have been bisexual, but queer of some flavor. Which also originally King James. Definitely not straight.
History will remember that he was good friends with that man.
Yeah. Also, fuck you. Yeah, citizen of heaven. That's how you say heaven. Okay, what do you want me to say? Heaven.
A little more guttural from the back of the throat.
Heaven. Yeah.
There we go.
Look, pronouncing heaven that way, they even fucking halakhic, okay? And it's calm down. I'm sorry, I just needed to bring it up because,
All right. Well, I mean, we circled back to a downer topic for about 20, 25 minutes. Should we go back to haha funny times?
Yeah, sure. What do you got? Oh. I can put the link in the chat if you want.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's open it up.
Well, aren't y'all so special?
I have no idea how many people we have in right now.
Well, because StreamYard's stupid and YouTube's stupid, we have anywhere between 0 and 12 people watching. So.
So 24.
Once again, who knows? Because there are times where it shows up as I have 0 viewers, and there's like 5 people in the chat talking to each other. It's like, what do you mean? A 0 viewers, my ass. It's like, I see people watching. They're responding to me as I speak. Well, like a 20-second delay or whatever, because that's how it works.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. So, guess what I did today at work?
Rubbed one out.
Oh, it's weird.
Hey, you didn't say.
No, I did literally nothing except drink a can of Yoo-Hoo.
Ooh, fancy.
They have it in the vending machines at work, and okay, look, this is upstate New York, and I fucking come in here, and you're more than welcome to join if you want.
Link is open.
Yeah, but these people, look, okay, I work with the guy who's from Texas. I think they put me together because we're both weird. But
wait, I thought you were with the other guy from Wisconsin.
The guy from Wisconsin.
Oh no, you're the two that aren't from New York, right?
Yeah, that's what it is. Why is the static back? Do you hear the static, Steve?
Sporadically. I was wondering if it was me, but
how about now?
I'm gonna mute myself for a minute and
tell me someone. It might have. Hold on. Let me do this. Is that the static? Okay, my microphone was rubbing against my shirt and I didn't notice. Sorry.
Okay.
I got it now.
I hear that and it's like, I'm 90% sure that's not me, but at the same time, I've had my mic do that. Not this mic, but my first time I got an XLR setup, it's like, I know that noise and I know that noise ain't good.
Yeah, that happens. I'm not used to having a mic on my headphone cords, so I forget. What the fuck was I on about though? What was I talking about, Steve? Oh yeah, these people, they have to think. I am a terrible representation of Wisconsin. I mean, I'm an accurate one, but like, you could get someone less homeless looking. Like, okay, I come out here with a fucking tin of chew in one hand and a can of Yoo-Hoo in the other, with a bottle of Mountain Dew in my back pocket. I look like fucking wearing a flannel and ripped denim jeans.
So, if you want a good example of your stereotypical Wisconsinite, Red from that 70s show.
Yeah, who's actually from Wisconsin, the actor.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. That's why he plays Wisconsin Dad so well, because he is Wisconsin Dad.
Well, okay, that certainly, yeah. Red is stereotypical, midlife crisis age Wisconsin male. Like,
yep.
That's half the male population at that age. Easily.
Yep. Yeah, he is really, if you grew up in Wisconsin between the years of 1848 and 2022, you've got about a 40% chance that's exactly your dad. See, it's funny because those are the years Wisconsin's existed as a state. Also,
what I don't understand is why the fuck would people willingly live here? Like, fertile soil notwithstanding in regards to crop growing.
Yeah, that's it. That's literally.
But let's rewind the clock about 200 years. All right. You got cold as fuck winters.
They were lied
Freezing.
to.
Secondly, in the summer,
Hotter
it
than
gets
hell.
hot as fuck and humid as fuck.
Yep.
Because half the state is swamp.
Okay,
And the
it's
other
a
half
third.
Okay, a third of the state is swamp. And then 2/3 were just completely overgrown woods.
Yeah.
And then you give some settlers some hand axes and some cattle and like, hey, you should go there. What were we the Australia of American settlers? Because like there
let
was
me let me explain what happened. I know this. I actually talked to someone who is also from Wisconsin. Someone I used to fuck, who used to fuck with Von Helton, and I used to fuck with Von Helton. Good guy. But we've actually had probably 2 or 3 streams where we talked for like 4 hours about Wisconsin shit.
Okay.
But he was telling me that all right, Mr. Chaos is here. But we're he's telling me that no here's the what happened. Basically they took a bunch of these people who wanted to emigrate, from Scandinavian countries and places where it was like really cold and harsh, and basically we're like, hey, we got this great fertile land. It's basically like springtime year round. It's awesome. You'll love it. And basically tricked him into being there and basically sold him land for dirt cheap. Yeah, that's what they did.
Well, okay. To be fair, by Scandinavian standards, it is springtime almost year round.
Yeah, but they were still pissed off as all hell. They're like, what the fuck? How does it get colder here for a few months? How does it get colder here in this? And then how does it get this hot? It doesn't get this hot in Texas.
And now
It's
with
like-
what patterns changing, yeah, we get hotter than we get colder than Antarctica at times, and we get hotter than Arizona or Texas sometimes.
My God, when I moved, it was, I don't know, negative 45 degrees or something when I left. When I got off the plane 3.5 hours later in New York, it was like 35 fucking degrees. And I'm like, it's literally 70 degrees warmer in New York than it is Wisconsin.
A heat wave.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I had to take off like my coat. I had like fucking 4 layers on because it was negative 45, not including wind chill. I had to take off like fucking 7 layers, and Bill was like, what is your... I'm like, I am warm.
That's great.
So, how are you, Mr. Gay Atheist?
Yeah. No pun intended, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that is not how I was going to pronounce that.
I think that's apatheist, but apetheist, I think is the...
Oh, I was going to say apatheist.
No, apatheist has 2 A's. Apatheist. I am one.
Oh, you went to Wisconsin in 1980. Back when people were still riding the muskies up to work. Back when the hodags were loose and terrorizing the North Woods.
Okay, that's a fucking thing you central Wisconsinites made up. I don't know what the fuck. You're fucking hodag bullshit.
The hodag is a noble and majestic creature, and it exists.
Back where I'm from, we had shit like the fucking Beast of Bray Road and the fucking Avon Swamp Monster there, okay? We got real shit.
Oh, sure. You see a dog that has mange and scream werewolf.
Yeah.
Whereas we make a taxidermy crime against nature. And it's beautiful.
Okay, does anyone who's not from Wisconsin know what the fuck a hodag is?
No, not a fucking clue. Everything I know about Wisconsin, I learned from that 70s
They
show.
make
so
cheese.
probably like
That's kind of
terrible
what I
information.
knew about Wisconsin. They
Well,
like
that
cheese.
70s show is completely accurate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that 70s show is pretty accurate to our childhood, even. Or at least our
All I
teenage
know about
years.
Wisconsin is they like cheese. That's really all I know.
Yes.
Yes, we are picky
See,
about
I
our
have to
cheese.
actually I have to argue against that because we California we have the best cheese and happiest cows, and we
You
actually
guys
have
have
the
the
gayest
worst
cows as
cheese.
well.
Hey,
So fuck you,
I
Wisconsin.
will
Come
shoot
on.
you.
do you remember that time that Wisconsin sued California over y'all saying happy cows come from California, and then
Yes.
like
Oh,
7 other
yes.
states got involved, and then you're not allowed to say that anymore because you keep your cows in fucking factory farms in horrible, awful conditions? That's a literal crime. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
So
no,
shut the
that's
fuck
all
up.
true. Unfortunately, it was a thing for a time, and I wish I would have gotten in like a bunch of pictures because when that happened, we had billboards everywhere. They were fucking playing off that so hard. And I think
Yeah.
there was an actual gay cow billboard that was spreading around the state for a while
What the
before they
fuck, a
finally
gay
shut
cow?
it down.
How is a cow gay?
Gay means happy, bro.
But
You can't say happy, but nobody can tell you can't say gay. That would
Yeah.
be discriminatory. I don't know. I don't know how they fucking came up with it. But it was just clever as shit. It was great. Like I said, I wish I had more evidence. I'm just making claims.
so you're talking about happy cows then?
Well, it was the
Right,
most. It was the most insane shit, and to this day, it still gets my goat when people say happy cows come from California. Go to California, try to find a cow.
And then go to Wisconsin.
Well, I'll
Try to
show you
not-
the cows in California if you want me to.
Try-
I actually happen
try-
to live right around the
Wait.
area.
Time out. You guys might have an unfair advantage. Recreational is illegal there. How much are you giving your
it's
cows?
recreational is legal here too, so I guess I have an unfair advantage with you guys.
I'll tell you right now, the cows have more land. I shit you not. Like this is the fact. The cows have more land here than the humans do. Like overall, like when you're talking about actual land mass. Now it's not great land for people to build on. So there's that. But like if I've frequently driven through the valley and gone, you could house like 24 homeless people on this plot, and the cows like just wander across it and keep going, and it's all theirs.
You have no understanding of the scale of Wisconsin. You can drive. No, you don't understand. You can drive for 60 miles, not even see a fucking gas station. Yeah, just cows. I don't think you understand, man. I don't think you fucking understand. You can drive for over an hour and not see a human, but see 80 billion cows.
No, we
Hey, Kat, you want to
yeah?
share the screen?
It's like that here.
So people can see the majestic hodag.
Yeah. Look at that fucking abomination.
It's gorgeous. Somebody made that.
That is true. That's real artistic talent.
Is that
Somebody made this
claymation? Is that
crime
like a
against
clay
humanity.
figure? It looks like clay. I don't know why.
No.
I mean,
No. Like somebody
It's
literally
taxidermy.
Frankensteined several different animals into that taxidermy, and then started showing it off as
Show
the
the
hodag
one-
of the
show the one
Wisconsin
of the
Northwoods.
sign.
it's like Satan's fucking dog or something. I don't know.
Yeah, show the one of the sign they made for whatever the fuck town it's from. Is it from Rapids?
No, Rhinelander.
Oh, Rhinelander, yeah.
Yeah,
Look at that thing.
yeah.
They're proud as hell of it, too.
That's amazing.
Hey.
Yeah.
Also, I will start yelling about squeaky cheese.
Oh, see, and here they are. They captured the mighty beast.
Yeah.
I'll capture your mighty beast.
Oh my!
I like Bugs' idea. Everyone say their favorite animal. His is actually
Wait. Is it living or dead? Does it matter? Like whether
My
it's
Like
favorite animal is
extinct?
cat.
Like, is your favorite animal a dead cat? Because no, that's
no,
weird.
not,
Get the
not,
fuck
not
out of my
actually dead. Yeah, I
street.
meant extinct. Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say extinct animals are okay.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
My favorite
well-
animal is you, cat.
Oh, thank you.
My favorite trash panda.
I appreciate that. You fucking pseudo albino ginger
I'm a very big fan
faggot.
of the state cat.
Hey, yo, first off, there ain't no pseudo
Oh.
about it. I'm a ginger, and albinos are inferior to fucking ginger, so don't compare me to that moon burning looking
Spicy.
motherfucker.
Anyways,
At
sorry.
least I'm not a look. I'm at least 10 enough to where if I walk out in a full moon, I don't get a fucking burn. All right, can't say that
Valid.
about albino.
So you're not translucent.
Exactly. Look, here's the fucked up thing. I live in Nevada, right? I have met more gingers in Nevada than any other fucking state here combined.
All right, so I'm sorry, Kevin. What was your favorite animal?
Oh, I was gonna say it was close, but mine's the saber-toothed cat.
Ooh,
Yeah.
fun.
Fun.
All right,
Cat.
my favorite animal, like to eat or
In
I don't
general,
know.
Are we
favorite
talking
animal.
about favorite animal to eat?
No, I
No,
think we're
that-
talking favorite animal.
yeah, just
Well, my favorite
general
animal is a
favorite
wolf.
animal.
My favorite animal is a wolf.
I like rats.
You do really like rats. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
No, my favorite
Rats are
animal
actually,
to eat
yeah, they're
is
super cool.
deer.
Rats are great. They have tiny, grabby hands.
All right. My favorite animal
Steve.
is what I like to call my spirit animal because it is the embodiment of chill. A capybara.
Those are just big rats.
They are just big rats, and they're amazing and adorable and just majestic as all fuck.
No,
Yes.
the embodiment of chill is fucking sloth, bro. They don't do shit.
Okay,
Well,
I will show
okay,
you.
hear me out, though.
Capybaras are just
Steve's right. A sloth you walk up to, and he'll be like, "Hey, man, what the fuck's your problem, bro?" You walk up to a capybara and just like you can just pet them like wild cap. You can just walk up and pet
capybara
them.
will just be like, "Yo, dude, what's up?
Like, bro,
Want to like
what's up?"
vibe in this shade? This is a nice shade.
Also,
you going? Okay, bye,
hello,
dude.
Wildheart.
I'll be
How
here.
are you today?
I'm fine. Carry on.
Hello and goodbye. Oh wait, hello.
Carry on.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, Wild. I don't think I've seen you since
I can't
we
see
got
you.
this whole thing going again.
Yeah, I think it was first episode or second.
Yeah.
Well, technically the second.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Second. I think so. Yeah.
The first of
Anyway.
regular release.
Yes.
Yeah.
We were having trouble with the studio greenlighting us after that terrible pilot.
No, they've all been good though. I've been watching all of them. All been very good.
Oh, thank you.
Well, not you. I mean Steve.
Oh.
Oh, Joe.
No, it's okay. I get it. Steve's taking over my show. It's the NSS all over again. Non-sequitur show. I do all the work, and Steve's taking the show. He's gonna show me. Sorry, Steve has no idea about the non-sequitur show, so I just have to meme about it.
Yeah.
You're not Steve McRae. It's okay.
You don't know that.
Could be.
Yeah, he could be Steve McRae in a very clever disguise.
Okay, I have one question.
Go ahead.
Nuke school.
Yeah.
When in doubt, give me both keys and I'll hit the big red button.
Oh my God, he is Steve McRae! Jesus Christ! Steve!
You know that.
The fuck?
Hey, so speaking of irrelevant people that have no fucking life,
Cult of Dusty?
I found something interesting out a little while ago.
Well, I feel
Okay.
triggered already though, because why are you referring to me here? Like, I don't know.
So,
Apparently,
when
we're
I
all
had
turning
a
off our
certain
camera.
when a certain somebody made a couple videos about me in response to anger,
Let's
there's
not
this guy
talk
that I
about
used to.
this.
No.
I
There's
don't.
a guy that. No, hang on. There's a point to it. There's a
All
guy
right.
that I went to high school with, right? Who doesn't like me because we were once friends and then he started a bunch of shit and now he wants to try to ruin my life. And I haven't talked to this man since 2018 or 2019, right?
Okay, you're
And he's
really not
still
that far
going.
removed. I was about to ask. That's not that far back. Like I know people have held grudges for much longer, but go ahead.
Wait, no, but this man is still talking about me to random channels that will listen to him. And he thinks that I don't notice that it's him, but it takes a lot more for me to not notice if you have the same fucking channel, but you change your name in your profile picture.
Wait. He's trying to force you to change your name and profile picture?
No, so he thought that by changing his profile picture and name that I wouldn't notice that it was him trying to talk a bunch of shit about me.
Oh, right. So he's trolling you from a sock account.
Yeah, because no, it's the same account. That's the thing. He's going around saying that I'm a rapist and that like I'm all this and that and blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
But he's using the same account. He just changed his name.
That's. I mean, welcome to the internet, I guess. Like, depending on who you deal with. That's just
I was gonna say, like, I'm new to this whole song and dance, but my amateur, unprofessional opinion, fuck him.
Oh yeah, no, it's interesting.
If he's gonna be a piece of shit saying that stuff about you, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt and assume it's all false.
Yeah, I would say like the best argument.
Yeah,
you
I was
can
gonna
really
say,
level
like,
is like,
if he
can
wants
you provide
to drag
evidence?
your name through the mud with false allegations, and that's what gets him off. All right, that's what gets him off. He can just keep on spreading lies and just keep on doing what you do. Don't even acknowledge it.
Actually, hold on, because I saw Kevin's stream earlier, and you said some things that Q, Ginger Nation here, has said very similar things to me as well about not identifying as human and shit like that.
Wait, what? There's a fellow non-identifying human? Hold on.
Yeah, that's essentially the way I've felt for most of my childhood, at least. Like, I don't know, I feel like I've kind of reconciled that a bit more now, but you know, like it's still a question. Like, I don't identify with most people. I'm not average. Like, I appear average, but I don't feel average, and I don't act average. I guess is more like what I was saying.
Do you identify as non-binary in a way?
I've just I just today really came out non-binary. That was my.
Oh wow! Congratulations, man. That's cool.
So, as someone who is new to the whole, because I have a friend who's doesn't like male or female pronouns. When you say non-identifying human, like this isn't some meme like, oh yes, I am an alien. No, this is like you do not like male or female pronouns. It's like I'm a person, right? I just want to make sure I'm on the same page.
Right, like here's how I've seen it, and like Cat's heard me drunkenly fucking rant about this or got really high and ranted about it. I don't identify as either male or female, and my pronouns are they, them, it. And I've had a lot of people like, oh, you can't call yourself the it pronoun because that dehumanizes you. That's the fucking point. Like, I don't identify as human.
I mean, I get. I hope I'm not talking over you. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Okay, I get where you're coming from, and as a kid, I felt a lot more like that. Like, I legitimately entertained the thought that I might be like some kind of extraterrestrial implant or some, I don't know, something other than what like people told me I was. Like, but you know, I didn't. You know, as a child, there was like a lot of confusion. So growing up now, like I've learned a lot more about like psychology and like just so much has changed since then. So like when they told me back when, you know, when I was just basically coming into school, they told me that, I was a behavior problem and I had all these disorders, and come to find out that, what I really most likely had, because I have not been diagnosed, and I don't want to like claim to know, but what it seems that I probably had was some version of autism spectrum disorder, combined with like other childhood trauma and stuff in my life that wasn't being addressed. And so all they saw, right, was like mom with a good job and a clean house, and the kid looks good, but he's acting out. And that was what they saw. In reality, they called it a learning disorder and said that I was disruptive to class. But in reality, I was actually ahead of the class, and their first option was for me to teach other children. Like that should have been an indicator, but nobody really picked up on that. They just wanted to like occupy me so I wouldn't cause any more problems. And so my issues really never got addressed, in that phase. And it wasn't really till I became an adult that I started to learn what the hell was really wrong with me. So I don't know if I'm really non-human, but I don't think like other humans. I guess that's really like the core of it for me.
Okay. Well, first of all, there's nothing wrong with you. Gender identity is a very fluid thing. And
Right.
second, yeah.
And so sexuality.
Well, so
Yeah. Oh,
as
yeah.
someone
Yeah.
that
What?
as someone that
Cat? Seriously? How
Yeah.
dare
Someone
you
that I
say
did,
that to
like,
me?
as someone that has autism, ADHD, and a few other things that are fucked up upstairs, and I say that lovingly, so don't anybody take offense to it. I'm not saying anyone's fucked up if they have autism. I just refer to it as being fucked up upstairs. But
Oh, no. Yeah. Self-depreciating
so
humor is very welcome in my book.
exactly, like it's just right. But Kev, I actually kind of understand what you mean, because like a lot of people are just like, oh, this like going through foster care. Like I went through foster care for about a good 10 fucking years. Well, not 10, 6, sorry. Until I was 10, I was in the foster care system, right? Shit sucked. And when somebody would notice that, hey, this kid's not necessarily what we would fucking call normal, I would get bounced to a new home. You get what I'm saying? So
Right.
I kind of get the whole I don't feel like I'm human type shit, because like for a long period of time I didn't get treated like I was human. I got treated like a paycheck. And so I kind of understand that.
I'm sorry to hear that. And I've heard a lot about the foster care system, which just makes me doubt the whole. I mean, that's like a whole argument against the pro-life people who are like, well, just adopt. And it's like, no. Have you seen some of the freaky stories in foster care and adoptions? No. Like that's really should not be like your first freaking thought. Like it just doesn't make sense. In my case, I remained with my biological mom until I was like 16, and then pretty much just went free range. I just ran away, but like she couldn't even control me before that. But in my situation, like I came up, my parents were never together, so that was like one of the first insults I learned in school. Like when I just, because for me it was normal, told my friend, well, no, my mom and dad live separately, and this and that, and they go, oh, so your dad doesn't love you, so you're a bastard. Oh, and that was like one of the very first insults that was ever hurled at me. And once I learned what it meant, it hurt deep. And it started to like all that, I don't know, maybe deeper psychological stuff. Just, of like,
Well,
I remember at one point telling my mom she should have had an abortion rather than try to stick it out and,
right.
all that good stuff. But like, there was at no point when sorry, go.
I feel like a lot of times when people who have gone through a lot of shit, kind of like, here, let me put it this way: when people go, there are certain times when people will say, "Oh, I don't identify as human," or I don't feel like this or this. Society kind of tries to put them in a box. Well, then there's something they're like, "Oh, well, this means there's something wrong with you because you're not identifying the way normal people in society would." You get what I'm saying? Like, the reason I say I don't identify really as human is because I don't really go by like gender specific. Sorry, I can't fucking speak. I'm a little fucked up at the moment.
Mind if I ask on what?
Pot.
Oh, you're not
I
fucked up. You're
mean,
having a good time.
Oh yeah, no, I'm a fucking foobard at the moment. But anyway, so we like a lot of the times when somebody, like for me example, I never felt like I was a guy, but at the same time I never felt like a woman. So like, I'm not gonna say like, oh yeah, I go by all pronouns. Really, I mostly go by they, them, it pronouns because one, it's just something that I got used to doing, and two, like I said, I'm not a guy, I'm not a chick, I'm just a person, and that's how I want to be. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I totally get that, and that's why I wanted to say, like, I understand where you come from, and I relate to it in a certain way, but my experience was a little different in that, like, I came to like reconcile myself with humanity in some way, although I still, don't really, whatever, I don't adhere to it, like, and so that's what I tried to like, hopefully clarify in my stream, although it was all discombobulated. It was like, now, like, I'm 30, I'm going on 34, and I'm now deciding to classify or identify as non-binary, but it's am I talking over somebody, or is there background noise? I think
there's
shit,
just some background noise.
Yeah,
okay.
You're
yeah,
good.
so like my decision, like it like came out of the blue, and it in part it's like a matter of principle, but it also seems like it would have been the most logical thing, like maybe a long time ago. I just didn't really consider it. Like, my gender wasn't be an issue. Like, I don't know. I was so much more concerned about other things, right? Like, it didn't really click for me until I guess until I got into the trans conversation. I tried to be like, in so many words, like, is there something I don't understand, or why can't I relate to this person? And like, I was actually I was like seeking out differences, and the more I talked to trans people, I was like, no, like, I identify with this. I don't identify with gender dysphoria, but I identify with like this non-acceptance of who I really am, and how no matter how what I try to say to express myself, nothing seems right. Everybody keeps telling me, oh well, there's something wrong with you. Like, that was always the case, when like there's nothing logically wrong. Well, there's a lot of things logically wrong with me, but not in that aspect, right? Like, there's nothing that justifies that. It's just, I don't know.
Quick, let me ask a quick question. You said you were 20?
What at what time? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I think I misheard what you said. You said some. I think you said something
He's
about
34.
something 20, and then you're 20. You're 34.
Yeah, I'm about to be 34 in October.
Well, I mean, so. Like you, right, bro. Like the thing is, I feel like a lot of people. How do I put this? I feel like society itself thinks that, like, hey, if you don't figure out who the fuck you are between a certain age, then you're never gonna find out who you are. But like, I kind of call bullshit on that, because the way that life works is we learn from experiences, and we can't learn something from an experience that we don't necessarily have or understand. So you finding out you're now non-binary now may have been because you had a certain experience within the last few months or weeks or even days, to where it's opened your eyes and understand, like, hey, this is who I am. And if somebody thinks, well, there's something wrong with you because you think this way, then fuck them, because there's not something wrong with you figuring out, I am not cool identifying as a guy, I am not a woman, I am neither. Like, there's nothing fucking wrong with that. And some, like, I don't know. I'm high. I'm sorry. I'm going on like a fucking tangent.
No, you're good. I mean, and
You're fine, man.
there's like a lot of context behind that, which Kat knows a lot about, but I don't like expect everybody here to know.
Also,
so and I ran it on for like 2 hours, so I mean, there's all that. So I don't want to do it again necessarily, but like just hopefully to be clear, it's not for me. It's not an issue personally of like I'm not uncomfortable with my gender assigned at birth. What I'm uncomfortable with is the assumptions people make based upon that, and I'm extremely like I feel a sense of urgency to like to
make
validate
other time.
To validate the experiences of others. Like it what I feel doesn't necessarily matter in this context because I really don't care what people call me at the end of the day. But when other people have a real issue and people are refusing to call them what they identify as, like it hurts them and therefore it hurts me. And in some turn, it's a reason why I can't like really express myself. Like that's I'm not trying to make fucking gay jokes. I'm saying, no, I'm not like a gay man. Like that's not who I am. But to say that I'm attracted to males sometimes, oh yeah, maybe probably 90% of my real life cis friends will be like, "What, are you gay, dude?" Like that's gonna be a fucking.
So
that's stupid. It's so stupid. It's so ignorant. It's.
Hey, ass. Quick question.
That's
Should I keep calling you ass, or is there a better name?
You can call me Q.
Oh, that's Q.
Yeah, I'm
Q.
Q.
Okay, thank you.
Q,
Sorry, I just see I eat ass.
I
Like,
came in.
Q.
I came under the name I eat ass because I had made the joke earlier. Because I'm Ginger Nation, if you don't know. I came in and said I eat ass.
Who's who.
And me and Kat have been friends for like what, Kat? About 2 years almost.
Something like that, yeah.
Kat, are you making other friends now that you aren't close to me? What the fuck?
Hey, I made friends with Q back when I was still in Wisconsin, and you were in Illinois.
By the way, if you guys hear background noise, I apologize. I'm playing Apex Legends while talking. Just rude. No life.
We will forgive you.
But like one of the things that I've seen, like I kind of wanted to talk about this in a stream that I wanted to do, but fuck it, I'm not gonna revive my channel anytime soon, so might as well have it here. A lot of things that go undiscussed is how society perceives males to be, and I'm not saying that women don't have perceived roles either, but like one of the biggest things that I've kind of started looking into is that it really is hard for a guy to fucking ask for help in society nowadays. You know what I mean? Because it makes like if a man shows weakness, or not weakness, I'm sorry, if a man shows that he is vulnerable, he's afraid that other people might judge him for it. And like, let me ask you, like, Steve, have you ever been afraid to be vulnerable in front of somebody? Like real shit.
Oh my goodness. Well, that kind of relates to the question I was going to ask you and Kev.
Oh yeah.
Because it sounds like, I mean, honestly, everybody in this stream presently, honestly, probably every one of our regular viewers as well, growing up in households that were either not supportive of the LGBT community in general, or expecting gender norms to be followed, and if you break from those gender norms,
you were
maybe punishment's the incorrect word, but like, essentially it being considered wrongthink and being very encouraged to get on board with the program.
Right.
So I totally know where you're coming from when you ask that, and the answer is yes, absolutely. Like showing any sort of not traditional masculine behavior was very much not encouraged. Like you mentioned, you were kind of in and out of the foster care system for about 6 years, you said?
Yeah, 6 years.
So
and then I got adopted by
my
a fucking...
experiences were very different from yours because I was kind of on the opposite end of the spectrum. Like I wasn't being bounced from house to house. My parents were taking in foster kids for about 6 or 7 years, and I don't think we had any foster sibling in the house for more than a year total. But yeah, my parents are one of those pieces of shit that would, I don't know the numbers or dollar amounts, but like let's say $100 is a nice round number. Whatever the monthly allowance is, take care of child expenses, food, clothing,
Right.
school supplies, making sure that they can have some cool stuff. Like, hey, the new CD came out for artist I like, whatever. Yeah, my parents would probably spend like 20 of that on stuff related to the expenses, so the kid would be taken care of, and then the other 80 would be going towards their vacation fund.
Right.
And it's just,
like,
it's atrocious.
So I can't say that like all of my experiences in foster care were bad, but like,
no, there are good folks who actually want to help people out there. I mean, that's true for anywhere. And there's always, even in the best organizations, there's going to be a few bad apples. But rule of thumb, most adults involved in foster care are doing it with selfish intentions.
Well, I wouldn't. I wouldn't say most. Like the thing is, so you got to remember, man, I'm 24 years old, so the game has changed a bit since I was a kid, and even I can admit that. But like, is Cat turning on the vibrator? Is it that time already?
Oh, sorry. I was charging my phone while I was muted, and then I forgot I still had it plugged in. So, oh wait, no, this is where I speak. Okay, yeah, sorry, we're good.
Cyber stuck here.
But anyway, what I was saying was like, you gotta like everything. I'm Buddhist and I'm secular Buddhist, and what I always believe that everything has a gray fucking area. No matter what, there's always a gray area to most things, and there's a gray area in adoption. Now, I'm not gonna say like I don't support being like the very first idea of you getting pregnant and not wanting the baby to either kill it or put it up for adoption. And the reason I say that is because you never know who that child is going to. And yes, a baby is more likely to get adopted first.
You do if you're selling them.
Oh no!
Right.
Don't
go
there.
But here's the thing: when you upright
that's my hot take for the night.
When you relinquish all rights as soon as that baby is born, you don't pick the parent. Like you can make it to where you release all rights and they just randomly find a home for it, and you don't know who that baby went to. You won't ever fucking know, especially if it's a closed adoption, which means that you've signed all rights away, and the court has deemed that from that point on you can't have any contact with that kid until they are 21.
Impossible for the child to find their parent if they want to. That's really the sad part.
Right. Well, the thing is, the child they will help the kid. Like they offered to help me, but I had already found my biological parents by then. But once you get 21 years old, they will give you a piece of paper saying, this is what your parents' names were. This was the last known address. Here you go. Have fun on the scavenger hunt.
See, what you should have done was tried to convince them that your dad was like Kid Rock.
Yeah.
Or some like, minimally relevant, but like, still rich, fucking individual. And then like, I don't know, got cancer and made it your Made-A-Wish. I don't know.
If my dad was
through.
Kid Rock, I think I'd be a lot more fucked up than I am
now. I got told that I looked like a gayer Kid Rock once.
Oh.
You do kind of look like a gayer Kid Rock.
Kid Rock does not look gay. He just looks like hillbilly stupid.
I'm sorry, sir. That is a genre of gay.
I was going to say, he looks like Billy Ray Cyrus, Eminem.
That's my genre of gay.
Hey,
Thank you very much,
who the hell is the lead singer of Poison?
Let's not bring Eminem in.
Oh, fuck. What is his name? I know exactly who you're talking about.
I was going to say, he looks like those three got together, had a fun night, and then about 9 months later, Kid Rock popped out.
I'm not even certain who is being inappropriately stereotyped at this point.
Hey, you guys know? Did you guys? You guys know that this is
not to pick you up on your
sex
English,
tape
but it's
with
actually
the
more
singer.
gay. Kid Rock. Not gay. It's more gay.
No,
You guys
piss
know-
off, you fucking Britlandish. Thank you for
Will
attending
you two
Wildheart.
please speak
Sex
your language,
tape.
Wildheart? I need English learning lessons.
There's a supposed sex tape with the lead singer of Creed and Kid Rock.
That's random as hell, but okay. I don't know if I should chime in now or but okay, so I understand. Nope. I understand a lot of
Sorry,
the
your phone.
Nope, Titan, you're right. I was thinking
it's fucked
Burt
up again.
Michaels, but I knew that couldn't be right. Brett Michaels, that sounds right.
Brett can. I'm
Is my
sorry,
shit
hold
fucked
on.
up?
I just no, because I'm interrupting you for a second and then you'll be fine. I just need to put this in everyone's head. Everything Brett Michaels has ever sang, but sung by Brett Keane. Thank you very much. Everyone else continue.
Are we talking about? Oh no, I'm thinking of a wrestler. That's Bret Hart.
Hey, who the hell is Brett Keane?
Who the hell is Bret Michaels? I'm so confused.
Brett Michaels.
Brett Keane.
Darn! There's some mac and cheese. Darn, get the ass rag while you're making me the mac and cheese. It's a cock-sucking, shit-talking, stupid motherfucking
Hey, does somebody want
Christians
to
out here.
ban that new person that's bashing bugs?
I don't have mods, or I would.
Don't acknowledge.
I'm gonna say, how do you know Alpha?
I'm not in the chat right now.
Just don't feed the trolls. That's what
Bugs
they
has
want.
mod status, so if Bugs is bugged, then they can bugger them off,
We can. It's like I said. Don't feed the trolls. We're
enough.
going.
Fair enough. I will just feed the Rancor.
Yeah, feed the Rancor. We like the Rancor. The Rancor does he provides an essential service. Who else is going to eat the Gamorreans?
Me.
Me. Get a good open pit barbecue going. Depending on the size of the Gamoran, I'll probably need about 5 to 6 gallons of marinade.
See,
are we advocating cannibalism again?
When you both said I would, I thought you were talking about sucking their dicks immediately.
I'll suck your dick.
Bestiality ain't my thing.
I don't think that's
Feed them
bestiality.
Yeah, exactly.
Cat, you keep talking that way, and I'm gonna suck your dick.
Hold on. Wildheart, do you have Jesus wearing a cheese head?
Yes.
Wildheart, you are officially my favorite person on this stream.
It's Jesus, and
What
I mean
the
Jesus.
fuck?
Go for a second.
Go in peace, my son.
Jesus on toast.
Yeah, Jesus on toast. Okay.
I like
Yeah, it is for me.
Jesus.
Wherever you see him, that's where he is. And unless you
If I
see him while
in
you're
a turd, does
masturbating.
that mean he's a turd?
Huh?
If I see him in my toilet, does that mean he's shit?
Yeah. He was just helping you drop your kids off at the pool.
Yeah. Taking the Browns to the only Super Bowl.
I'm not sure if, because I don't know if Steve's question was like, I don't want to, because I did have some opinions on like abortion and foster care, but that's kind of separate from my experience. I don't know if that was partially directed towards me. Or,
my opinions on foster care, to make it short and sweet, I don't have any experience being in the system per se. I have a lot of experience with the system due to my parents taking in 2 to 3 kids at a time when they already had 3 kids of their own. And none of those opinions are very friendly regarding the foster care system. The entire thing really needs to be overhauled. My opinion on abortions are, her body, her choice. Should it be your first choice? No, I'm not saying, kill the babies, kill the babies,
Okay.
kill the babies. But that being said,
hold on. I have a solution. I have a solution to the abortion problem and the gun control problem. Okay, so you know how like there's people who just want an unreasonable amount of unreasonable guns.
Time out. Poll for opinions, folks. On a scale of 1 to 10, how cursed is Kat's comment going to be? I'm putting money on 7.
112.
I'll go 8.
Just anting it up, right? I was gonna say like probably an 8.5.
Okay. So I lowballed it. Please continue, Kat.
Yes, you did. So you know how people want an unreasonable amount of unreasonable guns? You know, it's like, okay, look, you know, have your AR-15, right? They're good guns. They're fun guns to shoot. You know, great, awesome, wonderful. You know, but the people who, for whatever reason, need to have like 87 fucking AKs laying around their house and, you know, 12 different variants, you know, made by 43 different manufacturers. You know, that person, and that's just their AK collection, right? See, now we can actually do a thing. 1, we can get them a real job. 2, we can actually reduce the amount of, you know, gun-related killings, and abortion's cheaper. So all we have to do is kill the fetuses with the excess guns.
I see that as a perfectly reasonable argument in itself.
Right? And we'll use like school shooters, place shooters. We'll get them, you know, we'll actually use our, you know, social services abilities and, you know, get them and actually, you know, find these people before they actually, you know, shoot up an office or a school or, you know, kill their wife or whatever. We'll get them and we'll be like, hey, look, you get to abort babies with a gun. Right?
Even prior to that, you think it could be like some kind of like parental aptitude test? Be like, okay, let's take your youngest child. Let's say, well, your youngest functioning child, like a 5-year-old or something. Like, you know, all right, this kid supposedly, you know, kind of learned the ins and outs of things. All right, and you're a gun owner. You're pro gun, and you
puppy images for a few minutes.
I honestly think that you should have a fucking intelligence. I think there should be an intelligence test before you're allowed to have sex. And if you score under a certain amount, you're just not allowed to have sex.
Well, I totally disagree with that. But no. As far as gun ownership, like if you want to have guns and kids in the house, like they should be like, okay, so let's take your kids 5-6 years old. Okay, you know, just randomly test them and be like, all right, we're gonna let your kids just roam around your house for 2-3 hours right now. We're gonna tell them to go, you know, look for the gun, you know, see what they do. Like, just let it take place. Did you train your kid? Are you sure? You're confident about this? All right, yeah, let's do it. Is your gun locked? Fucking let it rip. Like,
so as someone who is raised around firearms, because as I said, my parents were my father was very like, yeah, machismo stuff. Yeah, you're gonna learn to love guns. No gun is that secure in a home from children. Children pay attention.
Yeah, they'll figure it out. I mean, but I want to respond to just like briefly to what ass eater I'm slipping Ginger said. Q about the minimum age for like, or not like an IQ test for I think that's the answer, but I do think it should be normalized. And in my situation, is basically what I was going to reference was that both of my parents, at least in my situation, were people who like would both acknowledge that they were not ready to have a child. They couldn't come to terms at the time of my conception and throughout the pregnancy. And those people should never, ever be encouraged to have the child. Like, that doesn't make any fucking rational sense. Like, there's no reason. Like, they're just like, oh, well, you could adopt them. You could do this or that. It's like, no, tell them to get a fucking abortion and try again. Like, that's reasonable. There's nothing unreasonable about it.
Well, and honestly, what I think it should be is like, no, yeah, like you shouldn't need to pass a certain intelligent quotient to be able to have sex. You know, damn it, sex feels good. Sex is fun.
Just to be clear,
whether you're an idiot or whether you're a genius, you should be able to enjoy sex.
That was just a joke. Okay,
I know.
That was a joke back to eugenics.
Stephen Hawking specifically.
But
all right, so let me ask you a question.
yeah,
guys.
whatever
Do
you were
think that
saying, you were sounding like Stephen Hawking having a cold.
Yeah, I was.
Hey,
I'm
do you
sorry.
guys think
I
that?
forgot to unplug my phone.
Do you guys think that eugenics is unethical?
So I say this as someone who has had respiratory issues my entire life. My vision is so poor that without my glasses, I can't see shit really. Like I can't read a book or anything. Is eugenics wrong? Yes. That being said, I will say that thanks to the revolutions of modern medicine that have been accomplished in the last 150 years, the explosion of the overall population, and how low infant mortality is, all of which are good things. I mean, the human population is far too large right now.
I mean, I wish infant mortality rates were up, but no one seemed to like my aborting fetuses with guns idea.
Yeah.
No.
Anyways,
Damn it,
continue
Kat,
on.
I just got that. Yeah. Moving on. Do I think eugenics are good? No. And modern medicine providing solutions so that people like me wouldn't be dying in my childhood. Like I had pneumonia when I was 8. Rewind the clock 150 years, I'd be dead. My vision's so bad. If eyeglasses didn't exist, I probably would have wandered into a ravine or a gorge.
Or
Hell,
getting eaten by a wolf.
yeah, or gotten eaten by something. Hell,
I
broke
feel
my
I
left
should
arm.
chime in here.
No,
I broke my left arm at the elbow.
Like
when I was 5. Like that should have been, rewind the clock 200 years, a, you know, if
Hold
not
on.
life ending, a crippling injury.
What
And now I
fucking
have
animal is eating you, Steve?
what?
An elephant seal? What animal would eat you? An elephant seal? You're a fucking you're like 6. What?
He said he was
3,
5.
6.
He wasn't always that big.
Okay.
No, he was. He's ever since I've known him, he's been that tall.
I'm 6'2". Where
Yeah,
are you getting 6'5" from?
I said 6'3".
Well, you
No,
said
6'2".
6'5".
I didn't. I said 6'3".
Yeah, walk it back now.
Okay.
I'll gaslight whoever I want. It's my channel, there.
Okay, Kat, so in all these hypothetical
really
scenarios, and
compelled to jump
rewinding the
in.
clock like 200 years, what did we have in Wisconsin 200 years ago?
The same things we have in Wisconsin now. Smoking sections in bars, mountain lions, bears, wolves, badgers.
No, prohibition.
Okay,
We have prohibition.
pick your poison, and that would have gotten me. Personally, I think the pneumonia would have gotten me.
How the fuck is a whole ass badger gonna eat?
So you're saying, Steve, you're
Kat, you want to know what really would have done me
I'm
in? The Majestic Hodag.
You're correct. All right, Kevin, what are you trying to say?
Well, just in general, when talking about eugenics, there's like a lot of just rhetoric surrounding it.
Have
a lot of
night,
people.
Bugs.
Good night, Bugs. A lot of people just don't understand the dynamics of eugenics, and they associate it with something we call negative eugenics, which is like what the Nazis tried to practice, which is like genocide and elimination of what they considered negative traits. And there's different variations on that, but there's other types of eugenics. There's positive eugenics, which is like selective breeding, which has its own issues, right? But there's actual practical fields of eugenics where they're literally just trying to minimize those like those traits that might cause complications later without interfering in other aspects.
Fast.
Yeah, I think it got through it.
Are you talking about the kind of stuff that, if I remember whatever article I read, like how Iceland has effectively eliminated autism from their children? Like they haven't really had an autistic birth in like a decade and change because, you know, they have universal health care, so really thorough prenatal screening. So if the fetus exhibits signs that it may be autistic, obviously they tell the parents, and then the parents have the option, like, hey, obviously you can keep this child, but, here's all the complications that can arise from having a child that is autistic. Then,
yes,
and that's what you're talking about.
Well, that is a result of positive eugenics, which, like I said, they call it positive eugenics, but it's only because you're not by implication removing people from the gene pool, right? Like, you're not telling people, well, you're not going to breed anymore. You're not sterilizing people. You're not euthanizing people, or committing genocide. Basically, is what negative eugenics is. So positive eugenics is the idea that you can selectively breed out undesirable traits. Now, again, there's drawbacks, and one of those is that people might consider autism an undesirable trait. That might be, their own lack of education, right? I've heard similar arguments. It might be in Iceland as well, where they've eliminated Down syndrome, and there are people, high functioning, intelligent people in other countries with Down syndrome who say, "Hey, you're committing genocide upon people like me. Like, I have a problem with that." And then that really makes you think twice about everything that's going on. Like, what's desirable and not. Is it going to be? Is it like an inconvenience for the parents and the community? Is that what you consider undesirable, or is it something that's like truly harmful, or that there's no way to, like, it'd be different with somebody who has a congenital disorder who is basically guaranteed to suffer and die at an unreasonable age. Like, this kid's not going to live to see the age of 30. If that, you know what I mean? Like, that's the
paved with good intentions. It's sort of kind of the same deal as cochlear implants. Like, I don't have any children of my own, but if my wife and I had a child and then we found out 6 months, a year later, like, oh, our child is deaf, it's like, my gut reaction is, yes, let's get them cochlear implants. But then on the flip side, it's
late-term gun abortion.
No
one's on this.
Yeah, and we've also supplanted the traditional eugenics, right? Because all of that was based on genetics and breeding, and now we in hindsight, it's like historically when eugenics took place, there was only to breed or not to breed was basically there, and how to do that best. Like, now we, like, all those science fiction stories, like, we can genetically modify people, we can implant artificial organs in people. So some of those problems, like, are really no longer an actual thing, as long as you can afford the healthcare. And that right becomes
well,
a big
and
issue.
I was going to say, continue where I was going. Like, yes, we live in a hearing world. We live in a world where being able to have good hearing is very helpful to live a normal life. But on the flip side, the deaf community sees cochlear implants as a huge threat to, not only their way of life, but their entire culture. Like, every country kind of has its own dialect of sign language, but signing is, in theory, potentially a universal language that could be learned. It's a good thing. And the deaf community is very capable with not only communicating with each other, but communicating with anybody who bothers to learn the language. So it's like, well, if I hypothetically did have this child who was deaf, do I want to do this procedure that will likely cost me a lot of money? Or do I want to, I had a deaf child. Well, it looks like I'm teaching them ASL. Looks like I'm learning ASL with them.
Yeah, see, and I mean, that's a great consideration. Like, as far as the practice of eugenics goes, I think it should be, at this point, that it shouldn't even be something that's on the table. If that's, and again, as a parent, if that's your consideration, as far as if it's going to be more or less convenient for you to have this child, you really need to, like, walk back and question whether you should be a parent. Like, being a parent's fucking inconvenient, whether you have a normal ass child or a child with a disorder or whatever, like, that's like, are you ready for this or no? Like, that is a yay or nay question.
So to make a movie comparison, I'm not sure how many people have seen the film Gattaca.
Yeah, no? I love that movie. Yeah.
Okay.
I've never even heard of that movie.
Okay, I only know about it because the science teacher that I was bitching about early on in this stream, we watched it in his class when we were getting to genetics. But like the positive eugenics thing that you're talking about, Kev, like
Right.
to me, it's a really slippery slope to something like that, where effectively it's you have those that were selectively bred, like whether you're doing a breeding program as people think about when you hear the word eugenics, or whether it's you're getting in a lab and getting a bunch of medical devices and doctors involved to essentially, we want that egg and that's going to be the swimmer that makes the gold. All right, go on, Phelps, you can make it to make the baby with the traits that mom and dad want for that kid. And then you'll have the natural births that, you'll have some that are able to keep up and be extraordinary, but essentially a lot of the normal people just won't be able to keep up with the people that didn't win the genetic lottery. They had the genetic lottery completely rigged in their favor, if that makes sense.
Right. And another version of positive eugenics people might not recognize as such is like what they've done in China generationally. I mean, they've eased it back, but their one-child policy is supposed to be, in theory, that is representative of positive eugenics. You're simply selecting for the offspring that is most desirable, like that whole thing. And or was it one child, whatever. I don't want to like totally misrepresent that, but that is in theory a form of positive eugenics, because it's not about, again, we're not considering unborn children in the equation yet. We're just considering everybody who's already here and the net effect of bringing another life into the world. And so they were kind of ahead of it on that. Like there was no question of, is the unborn child a person? Well, they were like, well, fuck them if they are, because we got a lot of people here already. But we've got Christianity, so we got to deal with that.
I think Kat's looking for the Imperial base.
Oh, good. It's not just me again.
Cat, you swallowed your dildo.
I feel like Kat's trying to agree with me. But
Unplug your... Fix your fucking audio, asshole.
Okay, how about now? How about now? How
Universal
about now?
Translator.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Working.
Okay, you can hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so, y'all motherfuckers, I need to get going. I believe Wildheart is doing an after stream on his channel. Is that correct?
Yes. If anyone wants to join, that'd be most.
Yeah, feel free to link it in the chat. You should have mods.
Yeah, give me 1 minute.
Right.
I'll set it up.
all right, I want to be respectful of your time, but I want to just briefly finish the point. Is that
y'all can have a good 5, 6, 8 minutes or whatever. I'm just saying, I want to get. I got shit to do.
I feel you. I appreciate it. And you've definitely been, you devoted some time to talk to me earlier, so I really appreciate that. Like,
no worries, man. Anytime.
So there's like a newer kind of field of eugenics. Well, there's multiple fields of eugenics, but essentially on the frame of positive eugenics, the idea is that people would be educated enough and have the ability, the freedom, right, to know that whether or not they were fit to be parents and in the right financial position, take all those things into account, then you can find out whether or not there are health risks for the baby in advance. And the ideal is that people would be able to consult, individuals. There's no government controlling this or anything. Just the individual themselves is able to honestly consult with their partner, with their physician, and make an educated decision on whether or not they're ready to deliver this baby, what the risks are, and go from there. Like there's no arbitrary. It's just one baby or another. Sure. it's like it's making an educated decision based on scientific facts and understanding the risks and proceeding from there. And that's all it really is.
That I'm totally on board with, because I do agree. So many people, like, it sounds like your parents, my parents as well, a lot of people's parents have children before they're either, mature enough to be parents, before they're financially ready to take on the responsibility of having, a little parasite-like creature completely reliant on them for the next 18 years or so, possibly longer. And they also, as you're saying, can make an informed and educated decision of like, hey, your grandpa had, lung cancer and he never touched a cigarette in his life. And my mother had, whatever. Hey doc, what are the chances we're gonna accidentally pass that on? Possible, but not likely. Okay, so fluke incidents most likely? Fluke incidents most likely. All right, you two make a baby.
Yeah, and I liked your response there. I was about to cut in. Don't give average people real statistics because nobody fucking understands that. Even me knowing I don't know. Like, I'm just gonna say you don't get it if you don't really get math like in depth and different things. So
yeah, but like in that hypothetical situation, if your grandpa, your father, all of his brothers, like in every it seems like you're at a risk for cancer. Seems like you might want to start coming in for regular screenings in a few years, buddy. You might be passing that gene on.
But that really starts with normalizing freedom of choice. Like, there's no way that can happen if you cannot get pregnant and take that decision back. Like, you have to, that has to be on the table. Like, when you find out you've conceived, you assess everything involved and find out whether you should proceed with this or not. Right? The other option is like, well, just deliver to conception, give the baby to somebody else, and then you have all the problems we talked about earlier, and that doesn't make any sense either. Like, that's just some, I don't know, it's a bullshit argument to me.
Yeah. All right. Well, we can stop keeping Cat up. Wildheart, I wish I could join you, but I have been up much later than I intended to be.
Yeah, that's
I'll come by for a few Wild. I apologize if I butted in too much there. It's like super sensitive topic that I've looked into.
All. Like it's one of the reasons I'm happy to do this with Kat. I love hearing different opinions from different people. I love getting educated. I would love to have both you and Q back on at some point to talk about, not like, I have friends that are transgender. I have friends that are queer. You
have trans friends, huh, Steve?
Yeah. You know what? I do. Fuck off, Cat. What you gonna do about it?
That's what they all say.
But yeah, I only have a single person who I know in real life, and they live over 100 miles away, that doesn't feel like any traditional gender applies to them. So it's something I'd love to learn more about.
Shit, is that me?
All right, good talk, I guess. We're done. I don't know. Anyone have anything to say?
Thank you.
Anyone have any final remarks?
It's been a great show. Thank you very much, Kat and Steve, and everyone over to mine.
Yeah, everyone go to Wildheart.
Please do. I'll fucking chill it around. So.
And hey, everyone, thank you for tuning in to the first stream where I didn't go on a half-hour plus Star Wars tangent, and Kat didn't do a Gilbert Gottfried impression.
Oh, do online
now. Actually, I'm disappointed.
I'm not dead, fuckers.
Thank you. I just want to wish a lot of love to everyone. That's it. That's
anyways, I'm sorry I interrupted you. Repeat, please.
No, it was mutual. I just said I want to wish a lot of love to everybody. That's about it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Kat and Steve, and I have to go because someone's in my back passage. So,
all right, so long. Thanks for all the fish. So sad it had to come to this.
Bond, literally every other week, you will get Star Wars. This one, Steve specifically challenged
watch
himself.
any of our previous streams. Anywhere from half an hour to over an hour, you will have a Star Wars rant somewhere.
Yeah, it's either
Sometimes
Star Wars or
multiple.
eugenics, so watch out for that.
Yeah, we discussed the finer points of killing them all, not just the men, but the women and the children too.
Bugs and I are watching Star Wars tomorrow, so.
Aww.
I look forward to the review. Are you gonna do a little review?
Maybe that might be a good idea, actually.
Yeah. Kat and I can discuss it, and yeah, we'll figure it out.
So I'm watching it with Bugs, and then we'll I don't know. We'll have to figure out because I'm still trying to figure out if I want to
end the stream still.
Oh my God! Final end the stream. I'm ending the stream.